いしょっと。よいしょっと。よいしょっと。よいしょっと。
どっからでもかかってきなさい。
いつでも撃てるよ。
ほら頑張って。
よし、私の番。加護
見せてあげる。ほら頑張って。
よし、私の番。せい。どうしようかな。吹き飛んで。
言ってやる。そこ。ま、こんなもんでしょ。
いしょっと。よいしょっと。
華麗に倒してあげる。
いつでもいける。はっ、想定よし。やっ、チャンス。一気に畳みかけるよ。さあ、どう動こう。はっ、やっ、楽勝だったのです。邪魔するなら容赦しないよ。さあ、どう動こう。はっ、
やってやる。
はっ、チャンス。一気に畳みかけるよ。
Hello.
Greetings and salutation to you once again. It is I, Agent WE.
Yep, there you go.
いつでもいける。
That's kind of weird. I actually ended up joining the party in a way that I've never joined the party before. I just went to like this side panel that would pop out whenever you would press the button to actually turn on the PS4 when it's off, or just to be able to access the main screen or the desktop of the PS4, if you will. And I got into the party and it just said joining party, and then it immediately said, "Oh, your microphone is fine and everything else is fine." I was like, "Well, I never did that before. That's a first."
You get a recent update?
No, I don't think so.
Just wondering.
Definitely not recent. Had to be some time ago. I don't know, maybe like a couple weeks ago, maybe a few weeks ago, something like that. It probably has always been there, but I just never really thought about doing it that way in particular, I suppose.
Possible.
Yeah.
こんなもんでしょ。
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well.
sitting here looking through. Steam's got a sale going on called the Play Together sale. You know, it's featuring co-op games and stuff. So.
Oh, nice.
There, seeing what all's going on there. Yeah. Well, not so much Ian, but Isaiah's getting kind of burned on Outriders, so he's like, "Man, we need to find something new to play." So, just seeing what we got, or seeing what's on sale, see if there's anything worth getting.
I'm pretty sure you got a lot to choose from.
Well, I remember it's limited to what's on sale.
Yeah, true. But knowing how Steam is, I would have thought that they've ended up having a lot of different ones.
Well, they also have to be cross-platform because, you know, Isaiah is mainly playing on the Xbox One or Series S.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. I just thought of this earlier. I need to turn on my Xbox because apparently Lost Ark that I had told you about is on Xbox as well, and I wasn't even aware of that. I thought it was just on PC. So I figured it would be coming to console at some point. So I'm guessing that now it is. So I need to go and check that out. Kind of makes me wonder though, like why in the world wouldn't the game be cross-platform? Honestly. I'm gonna go and check this out real quick. Turn this thing on and see if it's on there first and foremost. Oops. Let's see here.
So, I just came across this game on sale. It's called Fight Angel, and it's a anime, Japanese anime looking girl fighting game with. I'm reading the thing here. Fight Angel is the girl fighting game with great customization functions with physical effects that make realistic boobs movements and clothing destruction systems.
Wow. Okay, here's something I don't understand. I'm putting in Lost Ark here. The game itself is not showing up, but this freaking interactive map is popping up. What the piss, dude?
What?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It says interactive map for Lost Ark. It says buy for $4. I was like, what the? Why isn't the game on here then, idiot? Okay,
is it on Game Pass?
Oh no, I went to the Microsoft store.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it should be on there, especially if it's on Game Pass. And it would be.
Maybe that's why it's not on the Microsoft store, because it's on Game Pass.
I don't know if it is or not. Let me. I went to recently added, and there is no Lost Ark isn't on here. For the recently added stuff, it's not, and every time I've looked for it otherwise, it's never been on there.
Oh, let me. Yeah. Let's see.
Let me check real quick here. They have it in alphabetical order, so that's good. E, F, H, I, J, K, L. Nope, not on there. No, it's not.
I'm guessing it's Ark Ultimate Survivor Edition. Is that what it was?
No, it's Lost Ark is what it's called.
Oh, well, I did a search for that, but the only one that came up was it's just called Ark.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely not wanting to play that. That's one of the free games for PS Plus this month, and that daggum thing, ugh, I already told you about that. Good grief. Sheesh.
yeah.
Yeah, Phil was actually sending me some info on it, talking to me about it. He's like, yeah, he said, usually if you end up starting on the beach, he said it's usually easier because they end up having lower level enemies. And he was talking about if you end up going and having some dinosaurs around there, they're easier to tame, and I guess you could use them to help build your base and use them for attack steeds or ride them around the landscape or something. So.
That's right. I went on and did a search, and all I put was Lost Ark, Xbox Game Pass, and it's come up nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He told me, he's like, oh, it's on console as well. I was like, oh, really? It probably hasn't come out yet on there, is what it is. I'm guessing it is, but it's not on there yet.
That could be.
戦闘開始だね。
見せてあげる。まだまだいけるでしょ。
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about like. Wait a minute. No. You said dinosaurs and stuff, that's art.
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
art.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, because when I said it was like, is it called Ark Survivor Ultimate Edition? You're like, oh no, I don't want to play that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's island being on the island with the dinosaurs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, he tried to get me to play it, and I'm just like, I don't know, you know, because... Oh, hold on. Bye. Love you. Have a good night.
I love you. Have a good night.
Justin says, bye, love you, have a good night. Yeah.
こんなもんでしょ
Going to work.
Oh boy. I had to stop at CVS to go get my allergy medicine since I've been without it for a few days, and I had to get myself another one of those bath poofs for my body wash. I need to get it's better just to get those at Walmart because you can get like 3 or 4 in a pack for probably the price that you do just buying one at CVS. But I was like, I could probably still use the one I got until this weekend, but I'll just go ahead and get this one. And I found out that they ended up having the new Coke Starlight flavor out, which I didn't know anything about this until I saw one of these guys that I'm subscribed to went and ended up doing a video on it. And I got the zero sugar one, and I also got the regular one. And from what I know, apparently it tastes like a cotton candy kind of flavor, or like raspberry type of flavor, strawberry flavor, something like that. I don't know. But obviously I didn't have any of it right now because it's late and caffeine and whatnot.
All right. So, my daughter, speaking of food, my daughter went to Walmart yesterday because they have these boxes of large eggs. You can get them in a 60-pack, and you can get them for like $7, or at least used to. So whenever yesterday, they're now $10. So they went up $3, you know, just like within a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly.
And well, and not only that, but even when she was looking at them, all of them, like they only had a couple left, and both of them had a bunch of cracked eggs in both boxes.
Good grief.
Yeah. But thankfully, yeah. Well, I mean, it is ridiculous, but thankfully, one of the women she used to be a personal trainer for, she remembered that she has chickens and turkeys and other stuff around there. She's like, hey, you know, any eggs, buddy? You know? And she's like, yeah, I got a whole bunch you can have, you know? So she gave us some chicken and turkey eggs.
Oh, nice. Jeez, turkey eggs. Huh.
Mm-hmm. These things are, yeah, they're speckled.
Yeah.
These things are huge, dude.
I don't doubt it. Turkeys are big. Bigger than chickens. I wonder how those taste.
Well, I haven't eaten one yet, but Isaiah ate one up earlier. He's like, well, tastes like an egg, you know.
Tastes like an egg.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like those big, huge eggs that they had in the Flintstones cartoons or in the movies.
The pterodactyl eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was such a great cartoon. You know, it's funny because, I mean, I liked the cartoon when I was a kid, but I liked it even more when I was an adult.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I talked to say, oh, yeah, I mean, it was funny when I was a kid. When I got older, it was just stupid, you know. And I never understood that until I got the entire collection on DVD, and I realized that the newer episodes, or the later episodes, I guess I should say, you know, like when they started introducing the kids, that's when it got kind of stupid, you know, because then after the kids got involved, then that's when they started making the show more oriented towards kids.
バンバン行くよ
But
よし私の番
whenever it was just the adults, it was a bit more. I mean, it wasn't like vulgar or nasty, but it was just a more adult themed humor.
大丈夫ちょっと休憩する
Like a kid isn't going to understand, you know, like having a noisy neighbor and he comes up and
Hold
like,
on.
what
Got
do you
my
do besides annoying me on my day off?
どういうこと
Yeah.
Nothing, but then you got a neighbor that's annoying you.
Yeah, exactly.
楽勝楽勝負ける気がしないよ
Hmm. Oh boy, what the heck? A magical axe? Okay. This isn't treading a Atelier series grounds. I don't know what is. What the heck? Oh, okay. Move! Weathered House of Resolve. What a name. I feel like I'm back in frickin'
何これ
whatchamacallit, Horizon 2 with all this red stuff that's growing out of the ground.
邪魔するなら容赦しないよ
見せてあげるそこ
いつでもいけるどうしようかな
てい
いつでもいける
Oh, well. Decent cake order today.
Nice.
Yeah, one that she charged $85 for.
楽勝だったのです
She's got to make that money back and also has to make profit off of it, so.
That's right. And plus, you know,
より強く
not only to resupply, but yeah, she's got to get paid for her time too. Yeah, so
You're
that's
right.
what a lot of people don't take into account. It's like, well, you know, well, if you count up the cost of the ingredients, they don't take it. Well, yeah, but you're also not the one baking it and decorate it. You don't have the talent to decorate it the way she does. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my daughter's an artist. You know, I mean, when she was younger, she used to doodle, and she was really good. I've actually still got pictures. I mean, she was really good
いつ
at
で
it.
もいける
But
Mhm.
it just didn't satisfy her. You know, as far as like, didn't satisfy that creative bug.
攻め時
You
ね
know?
Mhm.
Be about like me. You know, I can't even draw a straight line, and that's even with a ruler assisting me.
あ
So-
まり無理しないでね
Jeez.
You know, the ruler would always be slanted, you know, or something. But,
ほら
But yeah, I mean, I'm a creative person. Obviously, I'm a musician. But be about like me trying to be a musician and trying to play the flute. You know,
負ける気がし
like
ないよ
it just ain't gonna happen because that ain't my thing. You know, you put a piano in front of me, you know, I'm good to go. And once upon a time, you put a drum kit in front of me, and I was good to go. You know, I actually started. I don't know if I ever told you that. I actually started off playing the drums when I was a kid.
準備
I think you might have mentioned it at some point.
どういうこと
And
そうだ
my mom, she wasn't having that crap, you know, because after we moved down here when I was a kid, she just couldn't stand the noise anymore, and so she made me get rid of it. But then she started getting me into the piano, and I'm glad. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad she did, because Lord, you can do, you know, with synthesizers and now, you know,
楽勝
virtual
楽勝
instruments on the computer and stuff, you can just you can do anything, you know. It's
Mhm.
great.
That's good then.
But, yeah. So, you know, so in the same respect with my daughter, you know, if she'd have kept doodling, I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it's fun, but it wasn't satisfying, you know. But this, this satisfies that creative itch that she's got because she loves baking, she loves being creative with the decorations. You know what I mean? Well, it's just like last night, her and her best friend were over here, and she made what she referred. I mean, I guess it's a thing. It's called cake sickles, and it's essentially you just think of a popsicle, but it's made out of cake, you know. And so she made some, and then coated it in white chocolate and drizzled it with caramel and all that kind of stuff. She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to try this and see how it is. See how it turns out." You know, just because she didn't get an order or anything. She just wanted to try it just to see if she could do it and see how it would turn out. You know, so she enjoys this stuff. So it's good if you can get into doing something. Well, you know, it's like I told her, and I told all of my kids. I said, you know, if you can make a living with what you like to do, that's great. And I said, and if you can't, maybe it can be a side gig, make some pocket change. You know, like that's the money you go out to dinner on. You know, and your main job's the money you make to pay your bills. And I said, and if it turns out you can't make any money yet, as I said, just find a way to do it as a hobby. You know, don't deny that creative side of yourself. You know. Even if you don't, you know, because I never made any money. Well, the only time I ever made money doing music was when I used to play in bands back when I was younger. But you know, and I used to play clubs within an 80-mile radius with this band called Flipside. They were like mainly like a classic rock, beach music, and some country, you know. And I played with them for actually quite a while, and then I ended up having to move, you know. So kind of ruined that, you know. But it was a learning experience, and I got to see that was really, you know, I mean, I've been drinking with my friends and stuff when I was, you know, 15, 16 years old, but that was the first time I actually saw a whole entire group of adults just making complete asses out of themselves. I mean, there was one guy that was so drunk that one of the guitarists, the dude literally fell on the dude's guitar pedal, you know, because he had a whole pedal rack that he would just stomp for different effects and stuff, you know, stomp pedal rack, or pedal boards, what I meant to say. And yeah, dude fell right on it, and Mike, Mike the guitarist, he's like son of a bitch, and like kicked the dude in the head, you know.
Jeez, good grief.
Oh man, it was crazy. And what was funny is that was the same dude. He was like, "Hey man, hold my beer," and he like just shoved the beer into my hand and then went to the can. I was like, "I ain't holding this," and I just set it at somebody's table and walked off, you know.
That's good grief.
It was crazy, but it was definitely an experience, no question about that. First time I ever had girls whistling at me, you know, it's like, man, when I was in school, I was kind of the outsider, you know, the loner outsider, didn't really talk to many people. But man, I was up, you know, that was my first taste of, man, you know, there's teenagers. Oh, we were playing at this county fair, and there's about, I think it was like a group of 3 or 4 girls that were just like, you know, just hollering out. I mean, I was like, man, I ain't never had nothing like that happen before, you know. Unfortunately, I never got a break long enough to go say hello. By the time we were done playing, I couldn't find them anywhere. And I said, well, shit, you know.
Yeah, of all the luck.
Yeah, missed out on that one, you know. I was like, oh man, I gotta go down there and say hi. I was like, you know, but we couldn't because, you know, we have a certain number of songs you have to play in a set, you know. Like, dang it. But yeah, I enjoy. I mean, you know, obviously I don't, especially now back to my Christian faith, I don't want to be around drinking and all that kind of stuff. But you know, it did learn me a bit. You know, it's kind of my first taste of, you know, getting to be around different types of people other than the morons I was forced to go to school with. I know back when I was on speaking of that, back when I was on Facebook, I had all kinds of people I went to school with like friend me, and I didn't remember like who they were, you know. And the only reason I knew I went to school with them is because it showed on their thing, you know, where they went to school and graduated what year and all that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess we went to school together, you know, and then like certain little things that I'd be like, well, I might remember them, you know, but some of them I did, some of them I didn't. But then it was like none of them would ever talk to me, you know. It's like why did you add me if you're not going to talk to me, you know? Like I didn't understand that, and I had all of them did that. Like everybody I went to that I didn't already talk to, that I went to school with, added me. But then I'm like, hey man, what's up? And then I never, you know, they just never responded. I'm like, what's up with this, you know? That's when I realized that, oh, it's just for the numbers, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like how the way that it was with me too. Like there would be some people that would add me on Facebook or MySpace, or you know, even there'd be times that I would add them because especially with people from high school, I was like, oh well, you know, maybe we've changed now. Maybe we'll actually see how we are as friends. And there's some people that I even have on there now that I don't like really talk to at all. The only thing that happens is that we may like something that somebody else posts or something like that, and that might be about it. But nothing else is said. There isn't any conversations or nothing. You know, maybe there might be something once in a blue moon. And I mean, I know we're all older now, we're all adults, and we have lives and all this stuff. But it kind of makes you think, though. It's like, well, if I see you on here a lot, and I'm posting stuff, and you're posting stuff, and I'm commenting on stuff or liking stuff that you're doing, you know, because I'm actually trying to make an effort to be able to be friendly to you, then it's like, what in the world is it that for some reason that you're not bothering to answer me back, kind of thing. You know, it's like, what's the point? It's just like, one of the things that's really sad is how one of my friends who used to be one of my roommates in high school, when we stayed at the dormitory up there, how it seems to me like he's just become a libtard now, just by the things that he said and the way that he's acting. I don't know what in the world happened to him, you know. It's just like, what the heck happened to you, man? You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just that point in time before I got deeper into my faith with God once again. Maybe I was looking at it differently than I would look at it now, but it just came to that point in my life as well where I was just like, I'm not dealing with people anymore who are going to act like that and not just try to hear me out or listen to me or nothing. It's just it just feels like a waste of time. And so, you know what I mean? It's kind of sad. It's like one thing today, there was a friend of mine who was like my actual second roommate in high school after I moved out from the other guy's room because he was just lazy and nasty and he would never keep the room cleaned up like we were supposed to have it. So he ended up saying today about you know, he was trying to get into play certain multiplayer games and whatnot, and he couldn't really find anybody to play with like he used to. And I said, well, you know, what are you playing lately? I said, you know, let me know. And I said, maybe we can, if I have the same ones that you have, I said, maybe we can, you know, pop on and play something, you know, because I think he has both Xbox and PlayStation, but I think he's more so on Xbox if I'm not mistaken. But I told him about that, and so I was like, you know, trying to actually reconnect with other people from high school, you know, that actually seems like, you know, they're worth trying to keep in contact with, because there's been a few other people that I got rid of. Of course, you know, one in particular of she who shall not be named ended up blocking me on Facebook, you know, even though she claimed to be one of my best friends from high school, you know, and all that jazz, and, you know, she pretty much just flushed that down the toilet. So,
yeah, well, you know, when someone is, you know, is constantly passive aggressively, you know, trashing your faith and other things that that not only define who you are, but, you know, things that, you know, motivate you or interest you, then I mean that's not much of a friend. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, like me and my buddy Scores. You know, I mean we're both Christian, but he's Catholic, and I'm not. You know, And and me and him, we argue all the time about his version versus mine, and but we've been friends for this year will be 36 years, so we've been friends almost as long as you've been alive, so so that's not the kind of thing that would tear people apart, because even when we're arguing about it, not once have we ever said to each other, well, you know what, you're retarded for believing the way you do, because we wouldn't do that to each other. Now, we're going to argue our points, and of course, we're both going to think we're right, but because we're friends, I mean, we're practically brothers for all intents and purposes, we have enough respect to where it's like, okay, we're going to argue about this, we're going to disagree about this, but it's my boy, so so anybody, I don't sit there and say, oh, I mean, now it's different when you are actually joking instead of insulting somebody and then trying to hide behind it being a joke when you get called out.
Yeah.
I mean, when we're actually joking, that's different. If I tell like a Catholic priest joke or something, but yeah, you don't do that to your friends. I mean, like there's when it's your friend, there are lines you don't cross. And if they're your friend, you wouldn't want to or try to. That's the thing. You wouldn't be motivated to do that if they were your friend.
Exactly.
So anybody that's constantly bringing you down and insulting literally one of the core, literally the core beliefs of your existence, and that's no exaggeration, how can they possibly be your friend, So, and I've had to do that a lot of my life. I mean, just in the last 10 years, I have axed so many people, a lot of them that I used to call my friends, just because I just kind of got to that point to where I realized, how can these people be my friends if this is what they're doing? And not just one offense, but repeated offenses of a similar sort, How can these people be my friends, if they keep doing what they know is going to either, hurt me or make me very angry. And usually when you hurt me, I get very angry anyway. So either way, you're going to piss me off, and you don't do that to somebody that's your friend, So, Lord, yeah, because since 2012 was when it really started, and just everybody got the axe, Between then and now, I need more than both my hands to name off all the people I've axed, And you just get to a point where you just don't having a bunch of friends just ain't worth it to put up with the crap that comes with it. I mean, and if you are having to put up with crap that comes with these people, then what's the point? I'm not going to tolerate people that are constantly dragging me down just because for the sake of, well, yeah, but, got people to hang with, bruh,
Exactly.
I'd rather have my, my 2 or 3 friends, or, low number of friends, however many there are, and just leave it at that. Because, a handful of close-knit friends is better than having a whole bunch that, that just brings chaos. So anyway, enough of my soapbox. What's on your mind today, fella?
Well, no, not much really. I just glad that one day is over out of my 6-day stretch, so I got 5 more to go. But yeah, anxiously awaiting Triangle Strategy to get here because of all the great stuff that I've been hearing about it. It's kind of what I would expected it to kind of be, and so I'm hoping that it'll show up before I leave for work.
無理しないで。
But we'll see how that goes.
Right.
全開。
Oh man, I can't wait. Monday can't get here fast enough.
よし、私の番。
What's up Monday?
That's when I get my stitches out.
Oh, nice. And they'll probably itch for a bit.
I'm fine with that as long as I can get this bandage off.
カゴ。
And these stitches so I can actually
あまり無理しないで。
feel at least somewhat normal again.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, Easter's coming late this year.
見せてあげる。
Not until April 17th.
Why in the world is it April 17th?
I don't know. You know what's funny about that though?
I don't think
It's
Jesus' resurrection day just changes like that.
Well, no, it's the third Sunday of the month.
Oh, I gotcha. So it's leap year stuff
I
or
think-
something?
Yeah, I think so. Because I noticed, because I can't remember exactly how they calculated. I used to know, but I don't remember. But
見せてあげ
you
る。
know, that's funny because that means Good Friday, the day of the resurrection, would be on April 15th, which is the deadline for filing your taxes.
Oh, wow, man. That's
That's
funny.
hilarious.
It is, yeah. I can't believe I just beat that thing. That's amazing.
Well, it's a far cry from when you were playing Elden Ring, because all you did was run away.
Yeah. I try to run around and find stuff and just get my butt handed to me. But, anyways. I was talking to a couple of the guys about some of the things about it tonight. One of them was joking around with me when I told him I sent it back. One of them was like, why? And then the other one said, casual. I said, what? I knew he was joking with me, though. I understand what was up with it. I understand.
Well,
I've joked
you're
about it a lot before, too, so.
No, you're lucky he didn't call you a games journo.
But I told him though, I was like, oh man, I said I always play. Well, there was another guy that was there too. We were talking about a couple other different games, and he was talking about one in particular, which I think was Ori and the Blind Forest. He was talking about he was playing it on easy. I said, dude, I always play games on easy if I can. If I could change the difficulty down, I said I always do it. I said it just makes things easy breezy for me, and then I can go on to the next game if I feel like it. But the thing that kind of gets to me, though, with Triangle Strategy coming out is because I didn't think about this in the demo, but I'll remember it. I'll remember it the next time that I play through, because I think it was only like one major kind of choice that you'd made in the game. That I'm going to write down those choices for when I go back through and play through it again, because apparently there's like several different endings, I believe, and obviously there's different story routes to take, so that's going to determine, like, I guess what people you're going to have in your party, the routes that the story is going to take, obviously, what ending you're going to get to, and there's a New Game Plus as well, which I love New Game Plus in games because it always makes you feel like you're this complete and total badass with other powers and things that you've earned beforehand, and going back through the game again and possibly seeing something different or doing something different, things like that. So I'm really interested to know what's going to go down with that. So going back through a New Game Plus and then picking different story routes is going to be pretty sweet. So I'm not saying that after I beat it once I'm going to end up going back through it again immediately afterwards, but it definitely is there for me to go back through and have a different experience again a couple more times, I believe. I always love games that have open-endedness like that. So they're all meaty and chunky.
Man, get off my screen.
Get off my screen.
I've been hearing things about this Deep Rock Galactic. I've been hearing it's pretty good.
Well, that was one of the free games that we got on PS Plus, I believe, a couple months ago, and or maybe it was like I think it was in January, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to get into it, man, but I just couldn't. It's basically a mining simulator. It's almost like Minecraft, but it's with dwarves, and you have different classes of dwarves, and they have different abilities and whatnot, and you go through and mine stuff and take stuff back, or there's enemies you'll come across, and you fight those while you're mining stuff, and all these other different things. And I tried to do it, and I was just like, ugh. I was like, yeah, this ain't getting my goat. It's not my kind of thing.
Ian, I saw that Ian. Yeah, because when you have friends on Steam, you can see what games they have. And I was looking at Deep Rock Galactic, and it says one friend already owns this. It was Ian. I didn't even know he had this game. And I was asking him about it. He goes, yeah. He goes, I've had it for a while. He goes, it's pretty fun. So, but he likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, a matter of fact, Tanya went and downloaded one of the previous games that we got on PS Plus. I believe it was last month, which is Tiny Tina's adventure or whatever the heck it was for Borderlands 2, because it's a standalone thing, and she downloaded it, and I've got it too, so I think she and I are planning to actually get in and play it. And then there's also Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that I was telling her about. But then again, the 25th of this month, a new Kirby game comes out, and there's a demo out on the Switch and the eShop, and I told her about it. So I figured maybe she'd give it a shot before she got the game, maybe. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna get it anyways.
Oh Lord, you two playing together, that's gonna be a hoot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, the last couple times I've heard you two playing together, it's been, shall we say, entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going for. That's pretty much it.
Why are you leaving me to die? Why are you letting me get killed? Why didn't you kill that guy before he killed me? Oh, man. That time y'all were playing Breakpoint, I was dying. I was cracking up.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's something that we need to go back to again. But I told her that it was first person, and I told her, I said, there may be a FOV slider on there, and I said, maybe you could actually adjust it where it wouldn't bother you as much. And she said, she's going to check it out.
I hate it when games don't put a FOV slider in the game. It's so annoying, because I got to have mine on, like I can do 95, but I prefer 100. But usually, most games are set to, 70, and it's like, ugh,
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, I don't really get so much. I mean, it's weird because I'll get motion sickness on roller coasters, which I didn't used to. Thanks, old age. But the main reason is because I'll start getting headaches, and if it's zoomed in too much, to where the gun takes up almost a quarter of the screen, and I gotta man, you need to push that back, So, and then if it doesn't have a slider, I'll have to go in and edit a configuration, I'll have to go in and hack a configuration file and add in my own command in the files properties so it'll do it. And it's man, why couldn't you just put a slider in there? Really,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's somebody was talking about Fallout New Vegas the other day, so I decided to fire it up, and I've forgotten how long it's been since I played it because I was trying to play it, and literally my eyes started wigging out, and then my head started hurting. I'm like, oh Lord! And then I said, "There's no FOV slider." So I went on there and said, "How do you hack the field of view in this game?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to go through all this crap." And then I'm like, "Oh great, you know what? I don't feel like doing that right now." So I just haven't gone back and fixed it yet. I was like, I don't want to go through all this crap,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can do that because if I was playing on console, I couldn't do that. But even still, it's like, man, why do they have to make you jump through a bunch of hoops just to do something so dang simple, you know?
Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding.
I started going back and playing The Longest Journey, my favorite adventure game of all time. Simply because, since my hands gimped up, I can't, I had to quit playing Outriders because I started noticing that my hand was hurting worse, like a little bit after I'd play for a while. And I told the boys, like, yeah, I'm going to have to just stop until I get the stitches out, So I went back and started playing that because it's a simple point and click game that, won't make my hand hurt. So,
Exactly.
it's a shame that never came. It's a shame they never came out with a remaster. Now, if there was one game that needed a remaster, it would be that one, because they came out in like '99, and it could use this. I mean, I wouldn't even care if they didn't even overhaul the graphics. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the way the graphics are given when the game came out, but just they need to update it so that it runs on newer systems because you got to do some trickery to get it to run right, and not to mention the fact that I think console gamers would like it because I mean there ain't much to it as far as the actual gameplay, and it would be simple to implement on a controller. Because literally all you're going to do is like move a cursor and point to where you want her to go, and then it's simple clicks to go into your inventory and use items and interact with items and stuff like that. I mean, it's a very simple game, but the story is great, and the writing is great. Like back when you did a story-based game, the writing actually mattered. We were talking about that with movies and TV shows too. It's like even Ian, my daughter